Welcome to this class. What's your function at Spokes of Hope Worldwide? So we are starting, we have two elements. We'll talk about function of management and also management styles. Let's see function of management. We have planning. In planning, we see the managers set milestones that should be achieved and tries to come up with a roadmap on how the milestone should be achieved. And the very important element that we look at planning is strategic planning, which is creating a plan which is intended with an intended outcome. So managers do that. We have a scenario where you have to analyze, so you have to come up with SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunity, and a threat, whenever coming up with planning. We have organizing. In organizing, managers identify resources and try to find people who can effectively complete those the milestones based on the resources in an efficient way. So we have three levels that we can check here, three levels of management. We have top managers, we have middle manager, we have first line manager. Top manager, this person determines the objectives and analyze the situation. We see in this role like executive officers, we see chief operations officer, we have chief financial officer, we have a big number of top managers in a company. We have middle manager. The middle manager is the supervisor of first line manager. And this person also this person reports directly to the top manager, and he's there to monitor the execution of tasks. We also have the first line manager who oversees other employees, and he's there to work on day-to-day activities. And at this level, we see like we can see an example of a manager trying to, like an executive director coming up with a project and trying to give orders to the middle manager, and the middle manager will also supervise the first line managers to carry out the activities. Let's go on staffing. For staffing, this is the function that hires and fires employees at an organization. So they come up with job analysis, they recruit, and they hire and fire employees. We see at this level, we see HR, the human resource management. Let's look at leading and directing. In leading, we see a leader who sees the big picture and tries to find people, can allocate the people who can do according to the standards. He comes up with, he just have to foresee something, he has a vision of something, and he's the person to allocate the right people to do that activity. We have three styles. Aristocratic. In aristocratic leadership, the leader makes decisions on his own. So he doesn't ask for an outsider or any other person in the company, but he just comes up with decisions on his own. We have democratic. A democratic leader, he's the one who shows people the problems, and he hears input from the team, and he comes up with final decision by taking into account the suggestions from the team. We have laissez-faire leadership style. Laissez-faire leadership, the manager here or the executive director here, he just gives time to the employees or other managers, give time to them to do some work, and then he tries to provide some guidance as they go on executing tasks. But they have the full time to work on their activities, and then the manager just comes there to assist in whenever needed. We have controlling and monitoring. In controlling, we see managers that try to compare the past performance to the current performance and see if the company is really doing well. And if the company is not doing well, they try to to look at deviations, what happens, because maybe in the first time there were high sales, and then in the second time the sales plummeted and there is a decline. They try to analyze exactly what's the cause of the deviation. That's in controlling or monitoring. Let's see about the primary management styles. So on the primary management styles, we have directing. Directing, we see the manager who directs his subordinates, and by sharing knowledge and then the people trying to pay attention, try to listen to directions from the manager. So we have 4 elements. The first element is communication. How do they direct? So the managers send information, and it can be information in verbal or non-verbal. And then after directing, there is also coaching. In coaching, the manager gives instructions to the employees or to subordinates, and then the employees may ask also some other clarification, and he might send clarification through email or verbal clarification. There is also decision-making, which occurs when the manager defines the problem. There is a problem defined, and then comes up with a decision at the very end. There is also recognition. In recognition, it happens when somebody, in directing, it happens when somebody, the manager, spontaneously comes up with an idea and try to praise the employee who has gone extra mile in doing work that he was assigned. So there is strength and weaknesses, and when we see on strength, there is easy to learn. People get easily new ideas. There is clarity on expectations, and here the manager tries to provide some structural information because the way he is communicating. But the weakness here is the workers do not get initiative because they always do what they were taught to do. So there is also limit collaboration because employees here, they don't collaborate fully, they try to work independently. Discussion. In discussion, this is the state where dialogue is the one promoted. So people try to come together and discuss about a certain issue in a company. So we have communication, we have also coaching, and we have decision making, and we have recognition. In communication, it's a process whereby managers ask questions and people respond to questions. In coaching, that's when they try to, you see, individual performance. Everybody tries to analyze his or her performance, whether he did right or wrong. There is also in decision making, it comes when both the managers and employees come together and come up with a decision based on an issue or a problem that's happened in the organization. There is, in recognition, there is an employee who has done well gets rewards. So it has also weaknesses and strength. On strength, we have developed tolerance, and that you tolerate each other when you are in discussion. You just tolerate the other, you are open to new ideas. You get familiar with friends, how they talk. You improve your learning because you learn from each other, and also it builds cohesion, which a rapport working together with the team. So the weaknesses, it's lack of confidence. Some people don't have confidence to speak up, and also they feel shy, which is, they have problems to mess up. So delegating is the style whereby a leader gives power to an employee and to carry out some tasks. So it also has communication, coaching, decision-making, and an example here I can give, it's like a manager is busy, is not able to attend a meeting, he might delegate or he might appoint an employee to go and represent him for that meeting. So whatever he will do on behalf of the manager. That's delegating. It has also weaknesses and strength. For the strength, the manager gets ample time to work on other tasks. It also allows it also allows the person that was appointed to represent the manager time to improve on his or her skills. Or it increases also productivity, because the manager will not will not leave the work he was doing. He will keep doing the work, and he will send an employee to represent him, and everything will be done. So it builds trusts, because whenever a manager was delegated and he does well, he gets trust, and he can still get more responsibilities from the manager. But it creates the weaknesses. It creates arrogance between, if I performed well and I was delegated, I become more arrogant sometimes. So it also increases social loafing whenever people are working in groups, because the top manager is not there. If people are working in groups, they feel like their individual effort doesn't have an impact, and also it decreases productivity and when anxiety develops. So we have a reference that people can go and look at whatever we came through.